So what exactly the transformer is and what exactly the self attention. So what exactly the transformer and how it is different from the RNN, LSTM or GRU. So in case of RNN, LSTM, we have seen that it will going to process the data sequential way. But in case of transformer, we can feed the data in a parallelly. A core innovation of a transformer is the self-attention mechanism. It allows the model to give the importance of a different words in the sentence related to each word. It process the entire sequence in a once, and in case of RNN and LSTM we have to one by one, like in the sentence this is a cow, so we have to first feed this, then we are feeding is, then we are feeding a cow. So and other things making it different from the RNN and LSTM is that it has a attention mechanism which gives attention to the particular word with respect to other words which is present in the sentence. This is the architecture of a transformer. We have a encoder and decoder. Main objective for encoder is to, when you provide input, that will going to process and do the encoding, which is in a vector format. Vector is a numerical representation of text which will capture the semantic meaning of that particular text. Same way decoder will work, means it will going to decode that from that vector to text. How does it learns, we will say. So in case of RNN, process the data sequentially. So first I have fed the, based on that it has encoded that text into a vector. Next I have fed black, again it will going to produce a vector. Then I have to feed the last word. The sentence is the black cat. So I have fed the cat and it will going to process, and again it will going to produce the vector. In case of transformer, we feed the whole word parallelly and it will going to produce the vector accordingly. So that was the major difference between the RNN and transformer. The other difference is the attention mechanism. Attention is all you need. It's a research paper, you can read it out. I will explain you that in a simple way. Input embedding, which means gives the computers the ability to learn the text. We all are aware that the computer does not understand the text, it understands the numbers. This vectors allows the computers to learn and understand this text. For example, when we are feeding this text, the king is born, we are converting words to vector. It will going to convert, means this is the vector with respect to all words in the sentence, and this vector is a numerical representation of a text. What exactly the input embedding does, it will convert the text into a vectors with the help of word to vect embedding model, which allows us to convert the text into a vector which is numerical representation of text. For the example, we will see this Sam cat is cute. Sam's look like a cat. The cat meaning of in this sentence is different from the other sentence, so that's where the positional encoder comes in. It will going to capture the position of that word in that sentence. What is the location of that word in the whole sentence? That information will be captured by the positional encoder. So as we can see, the cat over here is having the position 2. The next we are having the cat at a position 5. So the position encoder allows us to capture the position of that word with respect to particular sentence. This is the formula they use to calculate the position encode. So first what we are doing, first we are converted the text into embedding, then we are applying the position encoding, which will capture the position of the each word with respect to other words in the sentence. Then we are combining both to the embedding of that word and the position of that word. We are creating a final vector of that text. So we have covered the both thing. This is the encoder part we were covering. So we have seen that how that input embedding model works. It will process that text and convert that text into a vectors with the help of embedding model. Next we are having a positional encoding, which we have seen that after converting the text, we are encoding the position of that word with respect to other words in a sentence. Next we will see the encoder block. So in that we are having a multi-head attention and feed forward neural network. So what is the attention? Attention is the what part of sentence should we focus. So attention allows the model to weight the importance of each word in the sentence relative to other word. For example, so in case of the big red cat, this red color will be assigned more attention towards the dog, not the other words like a big or the. how does it calculates? The self attention mechanism calculates three vectors for each word in the sequence. First one will be query, the next one is a key, and the last one is a value. What exactly the query? Query is what this word is looking for in other words. That is a query. And what is a key? What other words offers that this word might be interested in. What is value? The actual information from the other words. So those were the three vectors it calculates during the attention: query, key, and value. We will see that also how do we do that. So we are having a multiple head attention. Why? Because instead of calculating self attention once, multi head attention computes it multiple times in a parallel, each time with a different linear projection of a queries, keys, and value. Why we do that? Each attention had captured different relations between word. One head might focus on a short range dependency like adjacent word, while other might capture long range dependency like a subject and its corresponding verb further in the sentence. So after each head has computed its attention, the result are concatenated together and pass through the final linear layer. This process combines the diverse insights from each head into an unfilled representation that carries richer information than any single attention mechanism could. So that was the main objective of using multi-head attention. So multi-head attention will going to compute parallelly. Each attention had the query, key, and value vector. The query is what this word is looking for in other words. Key is what other words offers that this word might be interested in. The value is the actual information from other words. So why we are using a multi-head? Because it captures diverse relationship and enhance the model. Multiple head allows the model to capture different meaning of the words in a different context, making the overall model more expressive and powerful. So we have covered the input embedding, positional, and we have covered the multi-head. Next we are going to do the normalization, and after that we will use the feed forward network. So first we will feed the text, it will going to do embedding, then we are doing the positional encoding, which will capture position of the word with respect to other words in a sentence. After that we are using multi-head attention to capture diverse relationship between the words. Next we are having a feed forward neural network. After that vectors will be passed to the feed forward neural network. For example, this is the text we were having, this one having the combination of positional multi-head attention. After that the vectors we are having that we will pass in the feed forward neural network to process it. This is the input layer and this is the hidden layer. It will going to process, assign the weights and biases, apply the activation function, then it will going to produce the output which is given over here. So we have covered the encoder part from the input to the final output. So we have fed the big red dog, and based on that it has produced the vector. After going through input embedding, positional encoding, multi-head attention, feed forward neural network, this vector has been generated. So before moving to the forward, I will request you to please like and subscribe, because it will give me a motivation to create such kind of videos. Thank you in advance. I hope you are enjoying this learning. So we have completed the encoding part. Now we will move to the decoder part. How does exactly it works? Imagine that you wanted to convert this English to French or German, any language you wanted to convert in it. The output sentence in the target language is fed into the decoder part. Means here we are feeding the French language. This sentence is first converted into a vectors using an embedding processing similar to how the encoder processed in the input sentence. We have seen in case of encoder, a positional vector is added to these embeddings to capture the order and context of words. After doing the embedding and positional encoding, we will concatenate the vectors and then we will pass that vector to a masked multi-head attention. The first attention block is the decoder, is called masked self-attention block. This block generates the attention vectors for each word in the output sentence. These vectors capture how much each word in the sentence relate to every other words in the same sentence. The masked part means that model is only allowed to consider the current and previous word in the sentence while predicting the next word. This mask prevents the model from cheating by looking ahead the words it is supposed to predict. After that we are going to do the cross attention. What exactly the cross attention is? The decoder also attends to the encoded input from the encoder. Means we will get the data from the encoder, which we have seen that. So here we have fed the text. Based on that, it has generated the vectors. That vectors will be fed over here. So the decoder also attends to the encoder input from the encoder. These steps helps the decoder understand the context or source information to generate contextually relevant output. So after doing the masked multi-head attention and multi-head attention between the encoder and decoder output, then we will move forward to a feed forward network. After the attention mechanism, the output is passed through a feed forward neural network. So we have already understand that how the feed forward neural network works. The output from the feed forward network is passed through the linear, then will be passed for a softmax layer, which converts the raw prediction into a probability of each possible tokens. The token with the highest probability is selected as a next word in the sentence. That's how our encoder and decoder work in the transformer.